Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really profound teaching from the Maharanakakuta Sutra. We're going to uncover a source of inner strength that's so powerful, it's said to shape not just our minds, but our actual physical reality.
So, our story kicks off with a mystery. Picture this: a huge assembly of gods and enlightened beings are all gathered, and the Buddha just smiles. And from that smile, this brilliant golden light shoots out, lighting up entire worlds. Everyone is just floored, and they all have the same burning question.
And you have to understand, this is a big deal. It's not just idle curiosity. They know that a smile from a fully awakened being isn't just a random expression. No, it's a teaching. It's a signpost pointing to some deep truth, and they're desperate to understand what it is. And the plot thickens, because then they look at the Buddha himself. The sutra gets really detailed, describing his physical form, which isn't just perfect, it's like a living, breathing embodiment of his awakened mind. Okay, let's break this down. The sutra lists dozens of these incredible qualities. We're talking about skin that shines like pure gold, a voice that's perfectly clear and beautiful, and a body with the unshakable strength of a diamond. And the key thing to get here is that none of this is just about looking good. Every single one of these attributes is an outward sign of a totally perfected inner state.
So that leads to the real question, right? This isn't about vanity, it's how do you get there? How does anyone achieve that kind of complete harmony, that kind of strength and deep inner peace? I mean, where does that power actually come from? And after this whole assembly is buzzing with questions, the Buddha finally gives him the answer. He reveals that all of these amazing qualities, every single one, stems from one single powerful practice.
And this is it, the big reveal. That golden body, that divine voice, the respect he commands from all beings, that diamond-like strength, it's all the result of one thing, the perfection of forbearance. So what exactly is this power of forbearance? The original term, renli, means so much more than just patience. It's not about gritting your teeth and white-knuckling it through a tough time. It's an active, rock-solid strength of mind, a profound stability that means you're completely undisturbed, whether people are praising you or blaming you. And this is the most important part. It's a strength that is born from wisdom, not sheer willpower. The text really hammers this point home, over and over again. It says all the Buddha's incredible abilities come from this one quality. The power to shake worlds with a touch, the light that literally pours out of his skin, the respect he gets from even the most terrifying beings, all of it comes from Renli, the power of forbearance.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Simply telling yourself, okay, be patient now, isn't going to cut it. That's not enough to build this kind of power. So how is it done? Well, the sutra reveals that the foundation for this practice is something way deeper. And here we get to the absolute heart of the matter. The true root of forbearance isn't willpower at all. It's a specific kind of insight, a profound understanding of what the sutra calls the wisdom of emptiness. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. The sutra uses the eye as an example, but this applies to every single thing we experience. Sights, sounds, thoughts, feelings. It's saying all these perceptions just arise and pass away without any solid, independent reality. They're like a mirage in the desert or bubbles on water. They seem real for a second, but there's nothing permanent there to actually grasp onto. The word here is kongxing, or emptiness. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand this doesn't mean nothingness. It's not saying that things don't exist. It's saying that they don't exist as solid, separate, permanent things. Instead, everything is radically interconnected. It's all dependent on other factors, and everything is in a constant state of change. Think of it like a web, not a box of rocks. And here's the powerful payoff. If you can deeply see that the person insulting you is just a temporary collection of causes and conditions, and that your own feeling of anger is also just a fleeting, dreamlike thing, well, where does that anger have to stand? There's no solid ground. The whole basis for the conflict just dissolves. And that's how true forbearance arises, naturally, from insight, not from forcing it. The sutra then makes this wisdom super practical. This isn't left as some high-minded philosophy. It presents us with a very clear choice between two ways of living, a fork in the road we all face. The text draws this really sharp contrast. On one side, you have the wise practitioner. Because they understand this emptiness idea, they aren't thrown around by life's constant ups and downs. But on the other side, you have the foolish person. And they might look the part, they might say all the right things, but inwardly they're just clinging to their own ego, looking for fame and comfort, and completely missing the point. So, for anyone who wants to walk that path of wisdom, the sutra basically lays out a roadmap. First, you just observe the fleeting, interconnected nature of your own experiences. From that, you cultivate a mind that isn't so easily swayed. Then, you diligently practice that insight, abandoning laziness. And finally, you have that aha moment, where you realize true strength comes from this wisdom, not from trying to muscle your way through life. Ultimately, the sutra is saying that this is our choice to make, in every single moment. It's not about what we say we believe, it's about where we put our energy. Into cultivating genuine wisdom, or just into serving our own lazy, self-centered habits. And to really underscore how important this inner wisdom is, the text makes this powerful, almost shocking comparison. It basically says that doing all the grandest external acts of devotion you can imagine, well, it doesn't even come close to the power of inner contemplation. It suggests that just one single moment of genuine insight into reality is more transformative than a lifetime of just going through the motions. What really matters isn't the outward show. What truly changes us, what actually builds that radiant, adorned body of a Buddha, is the inner work. It all comes down to that moment of direct insight into the empty, interconnected nature of everything. And so this ancient teaching leaves us with a really provocative question for our own modern lives. In a world that is constantly provoking us with praise and blame, gain and loss, how can we cultivate an inner strength that's rooted not in resistance, but in a deep and liberating wisdom? Thank you for joining this explainer.